Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We officially have word as to how Liverpool's transfer window will start to take shape. The first target is apparently Ederson from Atalanta. If you remember earlier in the season, Atalanta absolutely destroyed Liverpool, and Ederson was a big part of that. He seemingly has oppressed the hierarchy at Liverpool. If you'll remember, Arne Slot, he is now the official new manager of Liverpool as of like 5 days ago, 6 days ago. He doesn't necessarily have as much say in the particular recruitments that are going to go down. He is the head coach. Klopp was a manager. So this seems like a very kind of Edwards like move. He's got 2 years left in his deal. His deal runs till 2026 with Atalanta. These are some quotes from the one and only Fabrizio Romano about the news. I'm going to dive into what we know about Ederson, look at some of his stats on FBref, and then look at some of the rumors that are circulating around on Transfermarkt. As always, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, like the video if you enjoy, and let's get into the news. Fabrizio Romano on Ederson and Liverpool on YouTube. They know there is interest in Ederson, they being Atalanta, but they have not received any official proposal, and they want to keep Ederson at the club. But it's also true that Liverpool have made contact with the agents of Ederson recently to understand the situation of the player. He elaborates later, kind of explaining that they're monitoring him, they're appreciating him, the buzzwords that Fabrizio loves to use. And we've heard this story a million times before with Liverpool. And honestly, I mean, this could be one of those things that ends up materializing to quite an interesting degree. I would love to see Ederson at the club. He played really well against us. There's also some. This was also tweeted by Dave Akop, who's pretty reliable for Liverpool news. There's some more kind of quotes here. So no official bid, but Liverpool have inquired directly to the agent, which is a big kind of testament to where Liverpool's head's at right now. Obviously, we're going to need some depth in defensive midfield and in the center of the park, which is effectively how Ederson's style of play is. He's a good interceptor of the ball. He's a good tackler. Progressive passing wise, pretty solid. Also scores a fair few goals. You would imagine that, Gasparini's style at Atalanta is conducive to that. But the similar players to him, we have Amadou Onana at Everton, Mark Roca, a few people that I really don't recognize, Norgard Lamina, Idrissa Gana Gay, Etienne Capoue, Josh Brownhill, very, very kind of sturdy defensive mid type. And it makes sense that this is the first thing Liverpool are going out to get because, quite frankly, we're not the strongest there. And that's a very important part of the pitch. He could inject a lot of energy into the side. I mean, he's got, 2 years left on his deal. He's about to turn 25 in July. Seems like a pretty shrewd kind of acquisition. Price wise, you could expect maybe 30, 35, 40 mil. But all in all, I mean, no guarantee this will happen. As for Transfermarkt, Calvin Ramsey, he's off to Wigan on loan apparently for the season. And the other rumors are all forwards for the most part. Sadio Mane coming back, that won't happen. Straight up, no shot. Crescencio Somerville, we've heard links, potentially. I think he's kind of a backup option, and he's just floating around there. I'm not too impressed by him in the sense of I don't know how much more he would add immediately. He's one for the future, I think, and he still has a lot to kind of add to his game before I think he's ready for move to a club like Liverpool stature. Ollie Watkins, doubt that happens. Aston Villa won't sell him for like less than 100 mil, I would imagine. Brian Mbeumo, interesting. He's kind of been leaning towards an exit possibly from Brentford. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't know if he would mind coming off the bench for Salah, what that would look like. Would he want to start up top? Would he want to start on the wing? lots of question marks there. And then Mohamed Kudus, who they say has 72% chance of joining. I highly doubt that. He would cost, I think he has a 85 mil release clause, buyout clause of 85 mil. This is admittedly from Bleacher Report, which is like, no, I don't know how reliable they are nowadays, but back in the day when I would like scour Bleacher Report, it was never right. So, all in all, interesting kind of selection of wide players. You have the likes of Johan Bakayoko, who's been linked a lot. A few other players. And yeah, I honestly think Liverpool have a really good shot at navigating this window. We don't necessarily have to sell anybody. A lot of clubs have to sell players. City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, and I believe Everton, and maybe another club if I'm forgetting them, all have to sell players by like a certain point to comply with FFP and PSR kind of rules. So it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be interesting for Liverpool though. Gonna be a wild summer transfer window. So if you need any transfer news, any Liverpool transfer news, mostly, consider subscribing to the channel. Like the video if you enjoyed, and let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of Ederson? Do you think Ederson is a good fit for Liverpool, or do you think Liverpool should look elsewhere for the defensive mid position? Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Sideline Sedo. Peace.